Hello, myself Anmol Saraf. We are doing as I am here for doing SPG2 course. We are doing GP2 individual solution. My topic was the AI impact for the career planning, and I am interviewing Mr. Sunny Kumar. Mr. Sunny, w- value, can you introduce yourself?
Thank you, Mr. Anmol, for giving me to opportunity me. My name is Sunny Kumar. I'm from Punjab. I'm completing my masters in MBA. I has experience in 2 year Mahindra and Mahindra, like as my postcode, like a data analyst for the like as experience for SQL data, like to be changes for the any analytical thinking for the AI fintechs. Thank you.
Okay. The first question I will ask to you is like you literally told me that you transitioned from the analyzing data into traditional manufacturing setup. So, to like from Mahindra to fast-paced AI and fintech domain. So how did you think the required skill set change, and how did the AI force that shift?
When I was at Mahindra, data analyst was heavily focused to be discriminatics. Is essentially looking up backward. My job involved building a dashboard and the writing to be a SQL part like a track supply chain. To be metrics to see that already has happened to highly reactive environment where the data mainly in past efficiency to be without opting forward looking a solution. What forced my transitions to be was seeing the AI being to seamless to be automate a base exact descriptive task AI completely to be shipped as a industry standard to be like descriptive. Uh, what happened to be predictive and what will happen like and predictive to as a coming into fintech that's not that just a historical data to be in stream in real time as I had to involve to past basic like SQL and depend my knowledge my like a Python specifically like a library like a pandas to be normally to be handled as a continuous like data injection for the more importantly to be I understand the underlying a complex mathematics of machine learning algorithms to predict the things are new think a credit fraud to miscellaneous effective moving from the passive to be reporter for the data to active the forecaster for the financial outcome.
Okay. Like you did talk about the SQL and everything. So, was the transition from descriptive to predictive analysis difficult for to grasp initially? Like it was hard to start and do everything.
Yes, it is required for fundamental mindset shift. I had to stop looking at data as a static record and start viewing at other dynamic variables that influence to be future probability changes the math curve with the steep but applying to it real world financial scenario to help the bridge the gap.
Like when you switch from manufacturing to AI, did your experience in manufacturing provide any unexpected advantage in fintech? You switch right?
Because absolutely to the manufacturing that tough in now to handle how to extremely massively as inconsistent data generated to be via physical like a supply chain to be at the data appreciation to be for the data cleaning and the data has integrity became a massive minds asset to be even dealing the with sensitive like a financial transactions.
Mhm. In your current financial role, fintech role, what specific tasks in AI automated and what new responsibility like you have replaced them?
AI now completely like a handle having the lifting for the data cleaning imputation and basically anomaly detection tasks that use for the to take me hour for manual coding and cross referencing for the even writing foundation like SQL queries to or setting up boilerplate to be the pipelines. Data pipelines is largely done by larger language for the model now to the because the role execution like is automated to be my role has shifted to the significantly toward higher level that strategy thinking to be I now spend that I now spend to be majorly my times like validating for the output generating to the AI models like ensure the changes the align with the financial regulation and do not introduce hidden base prices. I also focus on understanding the nuance the business context behind the potential loan default or an emerging market trend translating the algorithm to the flags into external or like a business strategy for the our leadership teams to be essentially for the doing the for the typing out code is automated thinking like a human validation to be and the system for the architectural for the designer the now real job.
Okay. So, how do you ensure, like, you have to do some data cleaning and everything for the AI and the thing. So, how do you ensure that the AI data cleaning isn't accidentally removing the real parameters on or real data which are important?
Because we implement a strict validation for the and the validation gate used to be human in the top loop in approach for the cases I write a unit test like a test specifically to the test in the integrity for the automated the data pipelines before to the it fits into the predictive with models.
Uh, like like today the chat gpts and all the other gemini and all are writing code very fast. A software developer that would take 1 month to do it, they can do in minutes. So like with less time spending on coding, do you interact more with the non-technical works?
Yes, significantly more. I now spend in situation current time like about my uh, 40% on my week in meetings with the product manager managers like a compliance officer explaining to the model how to behavior like aligning with changes our AI capability with the company financial goals.
Okay. Um, like now we you know that I'm sure you know that you already know the World Economic Forum and their report. They regularly publish their job report. So this report which was published in 2025, the WEF 2030 report, the WF the World Economic Forum 2030 report highlight the analytical thinking and adaptability. As the AI professional, how important are these software skills compared knowing the latest coding frameworks?
Uh, they are absolutely paramount, arguably much more critical than the coding framework themselves. Like a framework was transition to be transition, they changes every 6 months, has entirely new AI models, like a release almost two weekly if you are only for the knowing the in the syntax for the specific like a tool we will become obsolete very quickly like analytical thinking for the changes the crucial because AI models often operate as a black box when a fintech algorithm because of legitimate to be transaction as a fraud, like I need to be deep critical thinking skills to investigate data lineage and explain to be why to an stakeholder like cannot prompt your way like to you or business the logic or fundamental misunderstanding for the core problems adaptivity so allows to you to pivot seamlessly when tools you give a 4 year suddenly replace as a faster for more efficient as a AI system. These cognitive capability has from the stock to rock solid foundation data make any technical skills has actually useful to the in corporate setting.
Okay, nice one. Can these analytical thinkings we are talking about, can it will be taught, or is it inherently developed through the experience, that only experience can be teach analytical thinking?
It can definitely to be the tough, but it is the best refined through complex unstructured problem solving, exposing the oneself to the case study and purposely breaking code to figure out why it failed are great to be. We the build the muscle with this the muscles.
Okay. Just I told that the AI codes write all the code and everything they can write in AI. So, do you see a foresee future where the coding framework is stabilized and making the syntax and knowledge working? Like, we don't have to look at the documentation, everything. They do everything. So do you think they will be relevant again?
Because now believe the abstraction layer will only get the higher that we will move the more further away from syntax and closure to a natural language logic as making analytical many analytical any system to be thinking the permanent as core competences. Okay,
Uh,
start करें?
like for the next question, I will go for the student currently building the foundational skill in data science and deep learning. Like me, I am currently learning data science and deep learning in regularization topic. What should be their roadmap look like to ensure they are job ready for the AI driven market and AI driven industry?
Student must immediately stop railing to relying on common total project Titanic dataset or MNS those to find for the day as one day to the absolutely for the nothing to improve the job readiness to hiring for hiring a manager that modern to the roadmap required to the building into the applications that solve actual material world problem. um, if a student is interested in the deep learning like a finance core area, that should just like a stock market test train a predictor to be changes the stock to be Jupiter like a notebook they needs to deploy is to be cloud. They should to be build a predictive for the model app to the robust API to need to deploy to the changes like a cloud for the AI as a build a predictive model to be interactive for the to be stimulate to or reactive furthermore they need to be changes implement basic CI and CD pipelines like to show that misunderstand and modern develops practices to be showing a recruiter for the basic you can take a AI model localized experiment and seamless put into actual production environment demonstrate to be exact holistic execution skill data modern compliance are desperately to be seeking.
You talk about like a cloud deployment, and for a junior scientist and for a starting and for the person who is starting early, it's not easy for them to get for the cloud deployment. Like you also know, the GPU prices are very high, and it's not easy for everyone to buy a GPU. So I will like to go. Is the cloud deployment knowledge is strictly necessary for the junior level data scientist?
Yes, it has like a prop to nice to must have company that what engineer who understand how their models to be broader system infrastructure that not just how it performs in isolations.
Like it's nice to have, but not much to have. Okay, great answer. And like I will sometimes we need data set. We always look on a Kaggle data set. So where can the student find a messy real data set if not on Kaggle?
uh, web scraping
Oh,
public
web
data
scrap.
like using government APIs like or assessing Liver Financial stream to be like Yahoo Finance are great sources for the struggle for the gathering and clearing to the changes the data exactly of for the experience to be they need.
Oh, great. Yahoo Finance web pressing. I can't. Why didn't I think about it? Like web scrapping. Yeah. Now let's go for the. I want to have some question now. This one is like how the AI changes the hiring process. Like you are also being hired in the Mahindra. The hiring process in the Tech and Mahindra Tech and Fine Tech Center. Are the hiring manager looking for different things now compared where you have started at Mahindra?
The shift in hiring criteria has Mahindra because incredibly to the drastic like just a year ago, knowing the Python, SQL, Panda, and holding to be free recognized certification. Like was often enough to the secure an interview and like clear the any standard technical round. Today, because AI coding assistant can write a prefactor to be profile like a boilerplate code and complex like SQL queries in the second recruiters automatically assume assume you have the baseline the technicals in SSS skills. They no longer test heavily for the syntax memorization or basic algorithmic trivia are like a instead technical interview now focus intensely on a system design architectural technical thinking and is case management like a hiring manager to see you how to handle that messy unstructured like that is case management like a hiring manager want to see you how to handle to unstructured data at AI historically like to you changes the hiring manager want to see data your cross functional unstructured data like a communication skill and can you translate your complex model decision into clear non-technical language like for business stakeholder and the core focus what defined me definitely move as if you can write code for the can you solve complex and the business problem term using the code.
Okay. Okay, how do the interviewer test for the system design for junior candidates? You just talk about the system design. I want to know. Uh,
They often giving a board problem like design system for the detect real time problem the credit fraud like evaluate to the candidate breakdowns to be pipeline chooses the database and handle the latency rather than the writing to be actual the ML algorithm.
as you see, like the system is currently the entire industry is changing. People are learning skills from everywhere. So, are the certificate losing their value completely? The certification we do.
They are not worthless, but they are no longer to be primarily for differentiated working portfolio like with deployed for the complex project with carries significantly like a more with a standard certification.
Okay. We are going to like one, two, three, two, three question more. We are going back again on W330 report. The World Economic Forum 2020 report emphasizes the need for continuous lifelong membership, lifelong learning. Since the AI tools evolve most weekly, what is your personal strategy to keep your skills sharp without burning out? This is very important.
That's a important, like a nice question. Their reality for the attempting to the learn every new tool, like a new practically, like impossible and granted. To be path rapid burnout, my personal strategy to aggressively for filter to do daily noise and focus almost exclusively on the underlying concept and measure architecture shift for the I do not try to be a master specific syntax for every stage in single LLM that drops on the hugging a face. I focus on the specific syntax for the new with the changing the underlying for the new architecture like retrieval augmented generation function, how to vector database to be mathematically minimize the such argument generation like a retrieval augmented generation like a function to be vector database, like a
Okay.
constantly changes to the both the core engineering principle and the mathematical foundation remains stable for the much longer to the maintain the knowledge basic. I dedicate for the strict time box two or three models like a three a week, usually a weekend morning to the reading deep dive like a technical to be engineering blogs or reviewing news research paper like testing as a new API in the point like a low stakes for personal project.
Okay. Like if you look at the social media, the AI is literally evolving every day. Every some days the new model of ChatGPT, new model of Gemini, some new type of open like an open claw. Lot of things are happening. So how did you decide which concept is worth learning or which is just an hype?
I look at enterprise adoption
Oh,
like
okay.
to be see major cloud providers like AWS and GCP. Integrating a new concept for natively into the there to the enterprise store stack it a strong to be signal like a technology has a real staying power to beyond the initial cycles.
Which platform like you use to sharpen your school? There are a lot of like Coursera, Udemy, or any NPTEL, SWAM. Which one do you use?
uh, uh, NPTL.
Okay, okay. Are the Coursera and Udemy not good?
Good.
Okay.
Mm.
Um, like more we go. Like, can you walk me through a typical work day in your current role? Like, what specific AI tools are you currently using on a daily basis? How much time do you save you, and all other things? Your daily routine about how you do.
Might typically they like integrate various like AI assistant to the significant accelerate developing cycles. I always use the GitHub Copilot for the extensively, like my ID for auto completing the number for code blocks, writing standard of Python function and automatically generating the boilerplate and test when I encounter deeply complex logic bugs or need to be like a brainstorm to the high level architecture approach, I turn to be advanced LLM like a chat GPT or cloud for uh, back end of for dialogue. I also utilize them to draft comprehensive to the technical for documentation like historically developers list favorite for the most time consuming tasks collectively. These AI tools save me roughly to like 30 to 40% of the time. I previously spent my typing routine code or blindly searching a stack or flow to the syntax fix. However, this saves time did not mean I work fear like hours to insert my overall capacity. I reinvest that saved into to be like a high leverage activities like uh, optimizing to the algorithm performance.
Sorry, can you repeat the last thing I said? I reinvest the save time.
I reinvest that save time into high leverage activity like
Oh,
optimizing algorithm performance. Am I got in my point?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You know that the chat GPT and Claude and every other thing is like they are not 100% accurate. So have you ever encountered the situation like Copilot and chat GPT give you completely wrong code, a completely wrong answer, the completely that doesn't make any sense like that.
Frequently, data often hallucinate library function like that does not exist for the deprecated method to be that why a strong to foundational knowledge it skill required. You have to instantly for recognize when the AI incompetently to the incorrect.
Do you think like using more AI have you that make you less proficient in at writing code from the scratch?
It has definitely reduced my muscle memory for the exact syntax to be, but it vastly improved my architectural design skills. Like I view myself more as the editor and director for code, now rather than just a typist.
Mm. Last question, I think. Like many freshers like me are also terrified that AI will eradicate entry level job, especially in tech industry and tech industry. From the perspective in the industry, is the AI a threat to junior developer or amplifier? Like I want to say, like I was following the market, the Nifty IT index, which literally fall 10,000 points just after the Anthropic release some retreat update. So I want to know ki how is the AI threat to the junior developer or an amplifier?
It is equivocally like a massive two changes if you only for career like a career goals it is to simply for the being a human complier someone who just takes for the highly specify the tickets and types it on the requested for the syntax without taking critically about the broader system there's road coding jobs and disappearing for the incredibly fast however if you to productive deeply cu- curious and to be system oriented like AI is a great amplifier in the history for the software development today proactive fraser can leverage AI tools to independently build for full stack application any complex system that would have required a dedicated from the five senior developers and several months to be just a few short year ago I was expectation for having radically shifted companies has now expected junior developer to act more like a junior tech leads your job is expertly to be guide for AI, orchestrate to be different tools, has review the generated code critically for state and to all securely together.
Moreover, I will like how should a fresher demonstrate the junior tech lead mindset in this industry? For me, like how should I show the my junior tech mindset in the industry? How should I go?
They should talk about their project just not in terms because of the code to be wrote by the architecture they design to the trade-offs they considered and how to be utilize AI tools to accelerate their workflow safely.
At last, I will ask like we all are doing these things just to earn money, some money. That's the main goal. So I would like to ask is like, will the AI for the junior roles, decrease the salary, because most of the heavy stuff is doing by the AI. So will it decrease the junior role salaries and other things?
I do not think so. While the nature of the work is changing, because value for the created by a junior developer like you, who can effectively to leverage AI, actually higher than before to be, which should be keep to compensation likely highly competitive. Thank you.
Oh, it's a great one. Very nice to have you for the meeting. Thanks for the meeting. I learned a lot, with no doubt. It's something I will never forget, for your valuable insight. I hope you are currently doing MBA and other things in the fintech. How is your MBA going?
MBA is so like a new task, new experience as the journey for the like new skills, like a communication, your project, your corporate structure, how to build a new reputed company like a Mahindra, like a Tata, like a Geo, like a Deloitte, KPMG. Have to build the corporate strategy for your developing your mind.
You are currently in the Chandigarh group of colleges and you are doing a lot of things. You, Mahindra, it's nice to have you. Bye.